my name is Heather, and today I'm going to give you an informative speech on the flu vaccination. So I'll start out by introducing my audience. This is my cameraman Aaron. I have Wade, Cynthia, Steven, and then Andrew. I'll give the camera back to him. Alright, so I want to show you my cards and then my guides here that I have with me. Alright, so imagine you present to the emergency department experiencing an elevated body temperature, shortness of breath, and muscle pain. Upon physical examination and testing, the physicians taking care of you diagnose you with the flu. The flu virus, also referred to as influenza, is a serious and contagious respiratory illness that is caused by influenza virus. My goal for today is to provide you with some information on the flu vaccination so that you can decide whether the flu vaccine is right for you. Today we will discuss what the flu vaccination is, how it works in the body, and the different flu vaccinations available. With the age they are administered and standard precautions we can all take to stay healthy this flu season. Let us begin by talking about what the flu vaccination is. What is the flu vaccination? The flu vaccination is a type of immunization that is designed to elicit an immune response which would produce immunity to influenza without causing the individual to acquire the illness. According to the CDC, flu vaccinations are available yearly between the months of September and May, when we are set to be in the window of our flu season. The CDC goes on to state that the flu vaccination is intended to protect individuals from either 3 or 4 influenza viruses that research has predicted will be common viruses that season. Flu vaccinations can be created with either inactivated strains of flu viruses that do not cause illness or without the use of any influenza virus. According to Bauman, the type of immunity that is provided to us with the use of flu vaccinations is called artificially acquired active immunity. With this type of immunity, the introduction of antigens into the body activates an immune response that produces antibodies. If ever exposed to the flu virus, these antibodies are in the front line ready to ward it off. How does the flu vaccine work in the body? The CDC states that the flu vaccination takes around 2 weeks to become effective within our bodies following administration. According to Bauman, following the administration of the influenza vaccination, the body will recognize these antigens in the vaccine as foreign. Once this occurs, the body will develop antibodies that will begin neutralizing the antigens. The antibodies are then stored within our immune system just in case we have an impending flu exposure. Now that we've discussed what a flu vaccination is, let's discuss the different flu vaccinations available. What flu vaccinations are available for the current flu season? One of the flu vaccinations available for the current flu season is the quadrivalent flu vaccine. The CDC explains that this vaccination was created to protect against 4 different flu viruses. The viruses it protects against include 2 influenza A viruses and 2 influenza B viruses. The CDC continues to explain how there is more than one quadrivalent flu vaccination available with different age requirements for each. One of the quadrivalent vaccines can be administered as early as 6 months of age. Some of the other quadrivalent vaccines can be administered beginning at the age of 3. And right here, I actually have a graph of the quadrivalent vaccine with the 2 influenza A strains and the 2 influenza B strains. In a journal article published by Fortune, the author Erica Fry takes a closer look on some of the research underway with flu vaccinations. This article discusses the effort of current researchers to develop a universal flu vaccination. The next flu vaccination that is available this flu season is the trivalent flu vaccination. The CDC explains the trivalent flu vaccination is being designed to protect individuals against 3 different flu viruses in circulation. There is more than one trivalent flu vaccination available, with one being available to children as young as the age of 5. In the Rhode Island Journal, a trivalent high-dose flu vaccination is discussed in one of its articles. This publication discusses a clinical trial where high-dose flu vaccinations were administered to patients with cardiovascular health issues. In this trial, administration of the high-dose flu vaccine correlated with a decrease of cardiopulmonary hospitalizations. Now that we've discussed the types of flu vaccinations available, let's take a little let's talk a little about some hygiene habits to keep you safe this flu season. All right, what are standard precautions? Standard precautions can be described as a set of rules that we have in place to prevent the transmission of diseases and illnesses that are acquired through contact with bodily fluids, non-intact skin, and mucous membranes. According to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, standard precautions include hand hygiene, using personal protective equipment such as gloves, masks, and gowns, and handling contaminated equipment safely and appropriate, and using appropriate cough etiquette. So here on this picture, I just have a little diagram of how to properly wash your hands. There we go. All right, and let's see. The CDC states that all healthcare facilities incorporate standard precautions in their everyday practice. Standard precautions are implemented within healthcare facilities to prevent the spread of infection. What can you do to stay healthy? The Occupational Safety and Health Administration has a few recommendations to keep you healthy this flu season. Some recommendations include practicing good hand hygiene, implementing cough etiquette, and utilizing personal protective equipment, and disinfecting contaminated areas. In addition to taking precautions to decrease the risk of acquiring the flu, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration offers advice on how to stop the spread of germs. Some of the advice offered includes staying home when you're not feeling well and avoiding areas that may be contaminated. As we reach our conclusion, let's take a closer look at the main points that we've discussed. The viruses present during each flu season will continue to evolve as the mutations of the influenza virus change. With this change, researchers will stay hard at work to predict the strains of flu for the upcoming year. Today we learned a vast amount of information about the flu vaccine, including what it is, the different ones available, and precautions we can utilize to protect ourselves from illness. I hope the material presented today gives you the knowledge that you need to make an informed decision of whether or not the flu vaccine is right for you. And as I also conclude, I just wanted to include some of my references, which includes Microbiology with Diseases by the Body System, One Shot to Cure Them All by Erica Fry, Key Facts About Seasonal Flu Vaccine by the CDC, a journal article which is titled New Virginia Clinical Trial Studies, If High-Risk Cardiovascular Patients Benefit from Higher Dose of Flu Vaccine, and also some ways to stay safe by the OSHA administration. All right, thanks.